Yes. So students, today, right from the last lecture and this lecture, I am continuing with the search engine, and in this search engine, again today we are going to see something like layout designing of the Google search, right? So that I will share the screen now, and let us look at that particular points. I think can you share? Can you see this, Ruchi or Suchit? Can you see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So you can just see this that I have just copy pasted the two parts where these two parts are important for us. The first part you can say, um, I would have increased the font for you. Okay, now I think it is visible for you. Okay, so this is a browser page, right? The search engine page where you can have this is the statistics bar, right? So last time we have seen it, right? This is something like statistic part, right? And besides that we have got something like dictionary definitions, right? Dictionary definitions, right? So this is also again very important. Dictionary definitions also you have to show it. Page title, then snippets. Now can you anybody tell me that these contents are coming from where, and how the search engine come to know that from this particular web page, from particular this web page, these only contents we have to show. So this is something called as snippets, but how you will define it in your web page? Let's say Adnan or these people, they have made my website. So let's actually do this हम लोग करके देखते हैं. Let's say if I want to, अभी तो कंटेंट्स तो नहीं आएंगे. Let me open my website and let's see. The results and process. Something like if I just copy pasted it. I think my website is not having this many contents, so that's why it is not coming. But and by the way, it is why it is not coming. Obviously, actually, we are not did the Google Analytics on the web page. Is it correct, Suchit?
Yes, sir.
We are not actually done the Google Analytics on the page, and that's why it is the contents which are not appearing on the search engine over there. If I just type anything like that, related to my website content, so it is not appearing over here. Because to do that, we have to go for Google Analytics part. That we will do it. Okay, so today we are going to do the Google Analytics, obviously. I think many of you are watching this particular lecture through your laptop or mobile. But laptop, if the laptops are there, so my suggestion is this, that we will go for the Google Analytics after this. But you just do it. Okay, so let me tell you that from where this you will get snippet part. यही मुझे दिखाने का है, वो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? Suchit, can you tell? Hello? Hello, Suchit.
हाँ सर.
Can you tell me that from where we will get the contents over here?
Schema markups.
In the
Schema markups.
schema markups, these are the tags. Hello. How you will define it over there? मीन्स अगर हम लोग ने उधर अगर मेरे वेबसाइट में अगर हम लोग ने वो तू बोल रहा है जो स्कीमा मार्कअप अगर हमने लगाया तो इधर अपेयर हो जाएगा गूगल इसमें.
नहीं सर, आइडिया नहीं है.
हाँ बट वी हैव टू ट्राई दिस ना, तो हम लोग को इसके लिए वो ट्राई करने गए. फ्रॉम योर सी फ्रॉम थेरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट्स फाइन, इसको स्निपेट बोलते हैं, इसको यूआरएल बोलते हैं, इसको ये बोलते हैं. बट द थिंग इज दैट यू नो हाउ इट इज कमिंग, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड हाउ इट इज कमिंग प्रैक्टिकली, वो हम लोग को प्रैक्टिकली करके थोड़ा देखा तो अच्छा रहेगा. इसके लिए मैं आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू द डू इट प्रैक्टिकली. ओके, so these are the snippet, and then URL. This URL must come over here, right? The size of this page size, right? Not content size. The page size is important, and the date, right, on which it has appeared. So this is important. And the second thing is similar pages. Similar pages, you know, the cached and similar pages. So these are also very important. You can just see for one search, one search, we get so many types of things and so many components, you can say, and these components must be there for each search. For each search, you can just see, right? There is one. See, you can just see this is something like intended search. Intended result means what? This is inside this. This is inside this. Are you getting it? The history of Brasilia, whatever is there, it is inside this, right? Okay, so that's why it is called as intended result. और उसके अंदर भी ये सब कुछ है. So what we are trying to say, for each search, we are going to focus on these points: page title, then the snippet, the part of the paragraph, or what is the important contents in this, we are going to show it. The third thing is URL. The next is cached page and the similar pages URL. Then the size of the page and the date. Now this date, size, everything is there. So you just remember in HTML, very simple HTML and HTML5, we have got something called as meta tag. तो मेटा टैग में हम लोग सी हमेशा हम लोग द डेट ऑफ क्रिएशन, देन द ऑथर हु हैज रिटन द पेज, दिस एंड कॉपीराइट मटेरियल, द कंटेंट, right, the security features, everything we are going to write it in the meta tag, and this is going to be there, right? And whenever you are doing the search and everything, you know, the search engine itself will look at that particular you know the tags, and the tag they are going to trace it by their program, and after tracing that particular tag you are going to extract the data, and how you are going to show it on the browser or the search engine, it depends upon each search engine. Like Google is showing the search engine like this, so they are picking up all the contents from where you know, and they are gathering the data, and they're doing some analytics, and based on that particular thing they are going to display it on the page. And to appear this within a few milliseconds, you can say, they are going to use a frameworks, because without frameworks how they are extracting the data, you know, with very it's impossible, right? For any search engine or any tool, right, you should use the frameworks, you know, who are working at the back end side. Back end में already data आपको क्या लगेगा क्या नहीं लगेगा, right? So it is going to be taken care by the frameworks, and these things are going to be there, right? So in your exam, let's say in theory, the theory exam is there, and it is asked to you, you know, draw the layout of search engine, or let's talk about the search engine optimization. Write short note on search engine optimization. But first of all, you are going to discuss about the search engine. पहले सर्च इंजन का देखो, और सर्च इंजन हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू डिस्प्ले इन अ ग्राफिकल फॉर्मेट. सो सी द सेकंड डायग्राम आई शोन यू लाइक दिस, राइट? सो देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स, यू नो. अभी ये कैसा है, पहला अपीयरेंस था. अभी के इसमें अभी आपने अगर सर्च मारा तो आपको अपीयरेंस अलग अलग आएगा. So it depends upon what type of browser you are using, whether that search engine is showing you this. So you can just see बाजू में देखो ये, you know, the different kinds of sponsored links are also there, like that, you know. The next part you can see this is what different text, you know, the paid advertising, the local search result, then we have got local maps, right? The paid advertising you will get from this, right? And then filters, some of the filters, right? And these filters are there, right, in the beginning part. And for example, just look at this. Instead of sharing only that, I will share the whole screen so that you people can able to see what I'm searching and what you are getting the results. Okay, so you can just see. Let's see that. जैसे मैं अभी मेरा नाम टाइप करता हूँ, right? Okay, so what are the things that I'm getting? So this is the browser where I'm getting all these things, right? Okay, for example, the name of the person, then you will get the first search, everything, right? Now over here, you are not getting that, at what, in which year it has been written over there like that. Okay, you can just see, quickly I'm visited the page like that. Just look at the other content, and this is something filter, right? This is the filtering part. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल एनी काइंड ऑफ अदर मटेरियल। सूचित एक कौन सा भी एग्जांपल बोलो कि जिधर ये सब आपको एडवर्टाइजिंग और ये सब दिखाई देगा। एनीथिंग।
कुछ भी डाल दो सर।
राइट
हाँ।
बुकिंग, कुछ भी डालो तो कुछ भी आता है ना, थोड़ा थोड़ा सा है ना। द वे वी हैव टू डू इट, सी लाइक दिस इज एड एडवर्टाइज, इज इट करेक्ट सुचित?
यस सर।
हाँ करेक्ट, चलो। तो ये एडवर्टाइजिंग सा पार्ट इधर आ गया, यू कैन जस्ट सी, so here you will get advertise. Okay, so you can look at this particular, right, the offers and everything which are related to this, that you got it. Okay, so this is again very very important. You can just see this is one more advertise part, where you can have directly go for this particular website, and you will get like, see, make my trip. To make my trip, it's advertise like that. Okay, and whatever I have shown you, over here, it may be appearing, at the previous years, right? पहले ऐसा दिखता था कि लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में आपको इमेजेस, मैप्स एंड एवरीथिंग इट इज शोइंग, देन वी हैव गॉट द एडवर्टाइजिंग, देन वी हैव गॉट एक्चुअली रिजल्ट्स एंड सो एंड सो फोर्थ, राइट? तो अभी आपने अगर ये गूगल का लुक देखा तो देन दे मेड इट, तो ये हर टाइम चेंज होता है। So this will get appearing, right, 10 different times. And if it is asked to you that search engine optimization के ऊपर लिखो, then first thing is that you will look at the particular, you first draw the layout of that search engine, draw the layout of that search engine, and then you come to know कि पहले कैसे क्या क्या करने का है उसके ऊपर, right, and how it is going to optimize. So then you have got crawling and so forth algorithms, right? Again, we are not going to touch that particular algorithms topic, because algorithm topics again, these are the, it's like जो है वही हम मुझे बोलना पड़ेगा, right? वो तो आप भी पढ़ सकते हैं, आप भी सुन सकते हैं, right? So I am trying to focus it on more and more our practical aspect. तो just draw the layout like this, अभी आप आपके हिसाब से layout बनाओ, right? So anything you put it, and like draw the boxes, and then you can have like this, show the arrow show करके आप टाइटल दे दो कि उसको क्या क्या है, क्या क्या नहीं है, right? And how it is there. For example, if I put like this, then what are the things that you are getting over here? Just draw it, आप बोल पूछ सकते हो। और लेट्स गो फॉर डिफरेंट, arts.com भी है ना, arts.com भी है। Go for this particular browser. Let's see the different browsers where getting the, askgvs.com. This is again the, लेकिन वो askgvs वो इसका ही है शायद से, ask.com का ही है। सी, askgvs करेक्ट, बराबर है। तो ask.com was the original, अभी जो है इस originally known as askgvs.com, right? So this is only the, the home page of search engine. So whatever you will type, ask.com or askgvs.com, let's do it other thing, what type of things you are going to search it over here, सर्च क्या करने का है वो भी आपको आना चाहिए। फॉर एग्जाम्पल हियर इफ आई एम जस्ट सेइंग Yogesh Pingle. So you may ask, who is Yogesh Pingle? So this is like, the ask. You are going to ask the question for it. Okay. You may ask for yourself or any other things. हाँ आप ऐसा बोलो, सोचो मैंने ना सर इज पुटिंग दिस नेम ओनली, आप आपका नंबर आप देखो, सर्च करो, right? So whatever data I am retrieving, see this now, this is the advertising that these people are showing, right? ये अभी गूगल का अभी मुझे क्यों नहीं आया क्या मालूम, लेकिन अभी ये इधर आया है, right? You can just see, whatever things are there. Who is Yogesh Pingle? So first is in Google Scholar, because it is related to Google. Google Scholar में मेरा अकाउंट है, मेरा जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स जो पेपर्स वगैरह है जो भी है वो उधर है, that's why it is there, right? And then obviously Vidyavardhini College of Engineering, then my LinkedIn page, Facebook page, the social accounts, then my blog, right? And so forth, right? And then my website. ये देखो, ये वेबसाइट भाई अपने अद्दाब भाई और ये लोग ने बनाए, तो ये वाला ऊपर लाने का तो क्या। हेलो सुचित, सुचित आर यू देयर? हेलो सुचित, आर यू देयर? हेलो।
उसका शायद लैग हुआ रहेगा सर।
हाँ चिराग, तू बोलना। हेलो चिराग।
हेलो।
व्हाट वी ट्राइंग टू डू कि अगर मैंने इधर सर्च इंजन में इफ आई सर्च इज हु इज योगेश पिंगले और माय नेम, तो our site www.yogeshpingle.co.in, it should appear first. So what we have to do,
एसईओ
SEO
एसईओ
perfectly.
करेंगे।
हाँ ओके, वेरी नाइस वेरी नाइस। तो इधर मुझे क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा, लेट्स वन सेकंड ना, लेट्स गो फॉर द बायडू। बायडू का स्पेलिंग क्या था रे चिराग? हेलो चिराग।
हेलो। हाँ सर।
बायडू सर्च इंजन का क्या स्पेलिंग था?
नहीं सर, आइडिया।
एनीबॉडी? सर्च इंजन, लेट्स सी द डिफरेंट डिफरेंट थिंग्स। सो ऐसा नहीं है कि गूगल सर्च इंजन का ही आपने लेआउट बनाया है उसके ऊपर ही आप एनालिटिक्स करते जाओ, ऐसा नहीं है। नॉट ओनली गूगल एनालिटिक्स, वो गूगल एनालिटिक्स इज रिटन स्पेसिफिकली इन योर सिलेबस, दैट्स डूइंग इट, बट इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट। सो bing.com, ये भी एक है, जस्ट गो थ्रू इट। bing.com, yandex तो मैंने तो यूज नहीं किया। एनीबॉडी हैज यूज्ड दिस yandex और लाइक दैट? सीसी सर, स्विस काउज, मैं कभी यूज नहीं किया। डक द गो, एनीबॉडी हैज यूज्ड दिस सर्च इंजन और एवरीबॉडी स्टिक विद द गूगल ओनली?
डक डक गो यूज किया है सर, डक डक गो।
डक डक डो कैसे होता है वर्क? हेलो, how you find the difference between Google and DuckDuckGo? Yes.
सर रिजल्ट्स तो
यानी ऐसे
वेरी
यूज किया क्या? इज देयर समथिंग एल्स कि भाई वो अच्छा, यानी व्हाट द सर्च यू वांट एंड यू आर गेटिंग इट वेरी करेक्टली, ऐसा कुछ?
नहीं सर, गूगल से इतना बेटर नहीं है, रिजल्ट्स वेरी करता है थोड़ा।
अच्छा, वेरी करता है, ओके ओके, बट लाइकिंग एंड एवरीथिंग दैट यू गेट इट ओवर देयर?
हाँ सर, मोस्ट ऑफ तो हो जाता है काम, और वो प्राइवेसी
ओके,
रिलेटेड है ना, इसके लिए।
BAIDU, बायडू, ये चाइना सर्च इंजन है, नंबर वन चाइना सर्च इंजन। यू कैन जस्ट सी 26% market is captured, right? And again we have got google.com में तो बहुत सारा है ना, like google.de is there, right ना? google.de is for Deutschland, जर्मन के लिए वो है ना। if I am saying their computer, right? So see this, their computer, okay. So you will get specifically the German, no, the libraries and that results that you will get it. Okay, so that is important. Then Google.day, Google. Then different countries having, जैसे हम लोग Google.co.in है, वैसे Google.day है. Day is nothing but Deutschland, like that, you know. तो वो है, see, DuckDuckGo. See, different search engine has got different types of layouts, right? So it is not like that whatever Google is giving us, right? So that is only the whole and soul. ऐसा नहीं है. Obviously the things are that Google is having a lot of data. Data बहुत उसके पास ज़्यादा है, इसके लिए it's a first number one, because वो डेटा को कैसे भी कौन से भी तरीके से वो घुमा सकता है. And what is and they can able to fulfill the need of the people. That's why the Microsoft Bing is also a search engine. Even Yahoo का भी search engine है. But then if you look at look at this, the the environment or whatever is there, the dot. What other things are there? See, maps, MSN, news and office. तो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने उनके यहाँ ये सब भी इंक्लूड किया है इन द सर्च इंजन. दे आर इंक्लूडेड एवरीथिंग दिस आल्सो, राइट? तो जस्ट फोकस ऑन इट कि अलग अलग टाइप्स के सर्च इंजन है, राइट? कैसे काम होता है, क्या क्या होता है, राइट? एंड इफ आई स्टिक विद दिस, आई गॉट द लिस्ट ऑफ द दिस थिंग ऑल्सो. इसके लिए मैंने मेरा पुराना हार्ड डिस्क लाया था, सो दैट वी कैन एबल टू सी the different kinds of questions can be asked regarding this particular topic. Don't worry, I will tell you everything regarding the question bank and this thing. Okay. So let's open it this way only. Okay, wherein we have got the steps of search engine optimization. So just we will go through it and let's do it one by one. What is an SOE strategy? Okay, so see, rather than referring the book and everything, we will refer the Google book only. So that will be better for us, everybody, and we will get whatever the latest things are there. It may happen that one of the step can be skipped in the book, and that's why I am not able to, or I will not depend upon any kind of book, right? I will depend upon the internet, wherein you will have the latest things, and these things only you are going to write it in the exam. That's why I'm telling you, right? If you want to refer any kind of book, plus see the things that whatever you are writing it should not get outdated. यानी सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन का जो पार्ट है, जो 2015 में जिसने बुक लिखा था, और लेट्स से इवन दो 2018 और 17 का जिसका बुक है, and that part you are referring, and from that you are writing something else, right? So it should not happen. So it's like that. With that, here are the steps to create SEO strategy in 2021, right? And whatever is there, the things are there, it should go up to this year mark, right? So that thing is very very important, that what kind of things you are also going to write it in the exam. एग्जाम में भी आप क्या क्या कर रहे हो वो भी देखना चाहिए, राइट? आई एम ऑल्सो रिफरिंग द लेटेस्ट वन, यू आर ऑल्सो रिफर इट, राइट? इट्स लर्निंग साइड बाय साइड. तो इट शुड नॉट हैपन कि जो है वही पढ़ के आपको सुनाने का, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So see this, once you talk about SEO strategy, right, then how it is there, what is there? It is a process of planning, outlining and implementing the steps designed to improve the search engine rankings, right? And here are the steps to create a strategy. The first one is what, create a list of keywords. तो एज आई टोल्ड यू, पहले मैंने आपको जो स्टेप्स दिया था कल, आई हैव फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टोल्ड यू दैट यू फर्स्ट क्रिएट अ लेआउट ऑफ एसईओ. द सेकंड स्टेप आई हैव गिवन इट टू यू दैट you should have something like database. Like database में आपको at the back end, no, database can, it cannot be a actually structural database. It can be unstructured, or actually unstructured database is सब लोग use कर रहे हैं. Unstructured, we know it that you keep the records in a like JSON format or like that. So you are going to stick with the unstructured only, but create a list of keywords, right? So everything in search engine optimization revolves around the keywords, right? And keyword research is usually the first step of any legit SEO strategy, right? See, whatever we are studying, इसके ऊपर ही आपको MCQ and all the questions आ जाएंगे, right? So you can say dash is the first step of any SEO strategy, and the options will be given to you, right? So उसमें से आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि फर्स्ट स्टेप अपना क्या है, कीवर्ड रिसर्च, right? So keyword is the first important thing, right? So you can easily find out the keywords that your target customer searches for using Google Suggest. Yes. Now what happen? Start typing a keyword into Google's search field, and it will populate a list of suggestions, right? So obviously we also know how we are going to put it, how we are going to populate it. We use Ajax for it, right? And over here you may put all the data in XML format as well. XML भी रख सकते हैं, JSON में भी रख सकते हैं, like it depends upon that. It should not be like that. You have to keep it in like structured database only, right? From where you are going to capture the extract the data, and you are going to populate over here using the XML tags. ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा किया तो we also know it that how much time it takes. Even in the local machine में, if I if I say consider this database, हाँ, ये database हम लोग consider करते हैं. One second. So if you consider the first database, let's say it starts with the, let's say, file handling, right? File handling. तो वी विल ऑल्सो नो इट, अगर फाइल हैंडलिंग का बात किया तो अभी क्या हो रहा है डेटाबेस में, आगे जाके अगेन वी आर कमिंग बैक टू द फाइल हैंडलिंग. नाउ बिकॉज वी ऑल्सो नो इट द व्हाट इज द फास्टेस्ट एक्सेसिबिलिटी और फास्टेस्ट जो डेटाबेस है इज नथिंग बट फाइल ओनली, the fastest database, right? And the second one is your structured and everything, like actually the database, right? And the search engine and everything, they will never go for this. तो ट्रेडिशनल डेटाबेस है, राइट, उसके ऊपर अभी किसी को भी भरोसा नहीं है, बिकॉज इट टेक्स ऑलवेज टाइम एंड एवरीथिंग, सो एंड सो फॉर, दे विल गो फॉर द फाइल एडिटिंग only, right? So it's come from like the txt file, so and so, and then now we are having the JSON files, right? Okay, JSON files. So last time we have also studied, right? JSON files, it converts into the BASIN. What is BASIN? BASIN is the binary, right? JavaScript file, right? So BASIN is that binary JavaScript file, which is much more faster, which is much more faster. So people are referring this particular strategy, file handling, where we are going to keep the data, and data you can able to capture it. So before say JSON, or not only for before JSON, but along with the JSON, XML will prefer hota tha, right? Because XML is having the tags wherein you go on keeping the data, right? So if I want to, let's say, student name, so student name is a starting tag, student name is the ending tag, and here you are going to write the student. So here I will write a name like Suchit, or like that, Suchit, then Adnan, then Chirag, then so and so forth, right? And these are the tags we are going to use it. So these are the outer tags and inner tags, and obviously to know these particular tags, to understand how to interpret this particular tag, there is something called as XSLT. This is also being used. XML style sheet language, style sheet language. So this is the HTML style sheet. You are going to write down the XML style sheet, right? And there is something called as a DOM parser, right? And there is something called as a SAX parser, SAX. These are the two parsers being used to interpret this, right? And along with the XSLT, we also know there is something called as what? DTD, document type definition. So this is being used, and what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of this? to interpret this tag. And not only tag, there are something like elements into it. The tag is also called as elements, and with the elements we have got something called as attributes, right? To attributes, to interpret these attributes and elements, we require these two type of things, right? Accessibility and detail. And once you will parse it using any one of the parser, DOM or SAX, it depends upon what type of browser and what type of things you are using it. Right now, the browsers are so much intelligent. Browsers are there wherein you do not require this. यानी ये requirement की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Right, because DOM and SAS parser, any one of the parser, or even though both of the parser, they are inbuilt in the browser. Right, so like I last time I told you, there is a browser called as Brave browser, right? Brave नाम का browser है, right? Okay, and these the browsers which are referring something like ACMA standards, right? They are following these ACMA standards, right? Wherein these ACMA standards will have inbuilt what, all these technologies. ये वाला technology, दूसरा technology, तीसरा technology. So all these technologies, they are getting combined together and they are inside this any kind of browser. So whatever today's browser you are referring, there is no need of like kind of any kind of these kinds of parsers or engines, you can say. The engines and these particular standards, they will refer every all these particular things, right? But previously, the XML is there in your syllabus as well, because we also deal with something like Ajax. So from technical side, we should able to know this. The XML, we are going to deal with the DTD accessibility, and this type of two parsers are there, right? So generally, we are trying to discuss. We are going to focus it on file handling, right? So file handling is again the very very important thing which we are doing. So in keywords, right? So we are going for the keywords, और keywords हम लोग कैसे देख सकते हैं? So you refer this file handling, right? Okay. So these usually make the awesome keywords for SEO because they come straight from the Google, right? Means the server, right? Cloud, you can say, right? Okay, and there is something called as a longer keywords, long tail keywords tend to be less competitive than short tail terms, right? So these are something like very important things. You can just see the long tail keywords, right? How these are going to be there. For example, single word phrase T-shirt, right? So two three word phrases. So आता है blue T-shirts or like that, or the another one. And long tail keywords will be like this. Long tail keywords, blue American apparel T-shirts, right? So this is how there is something called as a long tail keywords and short tail keywords, right? So these things are very important. Please make it very sure, because these things are, you are going to write it in the while you are describing the SEO, where there is something called as, one of the part is what, keyword research or keyword search, और you can say कीवर्ड जनरेशंस. कीवर्ड जनरेशन में आपको ये दोनों टाइप का पार्ट देखना पड़ेगा, द फर्स्ट वन इज समथिंग कॉल्ड द शॉर्ट टर्म और शॉर्ट टेल कीवर्ड और शॉर्ट वर्ड फ्रेज, एंड अनदर वन इज अ लॉन्ग टेल कीवर्ड्स, राइट? हे वर्ड एक ही है, टी शर्ट, तो यू कैन जस्ट सी तो शॉर्ट कैसे है, टू थ्री वर्ड्स में कैसे वो थोड़ा सा it comes along with the different words, so two three word phrases. Example एक दिया है, but internally you may have the different kinds of combination. Blue है, yellow है, और it may be another type of two three word phrases. तो ये किसको करना है? ये आपको ही करने हैं, अभी देखेंगे. और it depend, now there are two things, is it going to be a dynamic or is it going to be a static part? मैं आपको पहले ही मालूम है क्या कि ये टाइप का ही वर्ड होने वाला है. Let's say there are multiple websites where we are having so many kinds of other words also, which has to be matched with the contents what we are referring, right? So is it going to be a dynamic or is it going to be a static form of it, right? Obviously the real search engine which are working now, obviously they will deal with the real time data. They will not be related to the historic or the date data, right? So we have to make sure that how can you generate the keyword. So this is the part of keyword generation algorithm. कीवर्ड जनरेट करने का हम लोग को, दिस इज द जनरेशन, हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू जनरेट द कीवर्ड्स, है ना, पहले ही नहीं है जो हम लोग खाली लगा रहे हैं ऐसा नहीं, वी हैव टू जनरेट इट, वी हैव टू जनरेट these keywords, you know. But this, whenever you are creating this type of keywords, it should be a, you have to consider that one keyword, whatever is there, you are going to search for it. So how you are going to attach the different keywords for it, right? So this is what is very very important. Okay. So mm, so like keyword tool, you want to check out the volume search and competition level, you can use the keyword tool. Let's use it. Do it from your side as well. हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आप आपके साइड में से मैं भी करो, हाँ. We are just following this, you know, because whatever tools we are referring, ये tool है ना, it may be there in your syllabus or it may not be there in your syllabus, वो हम लोग को पता नहीं है, लेकिन जो है वो हम लोग को यूज करने हैं. Do not focus, you know, do not only stick with the syllabus. लेकिन syllabus में क्या होता है, syllabus ये आपका पहले ही आया गया ना, एक दो दो तीन साल हो गया, अभी तो नया syllabus आ गया लास्ट ईयर से, है ना. तो वो टाइम पे जो भी टूल रहता था, तो जिन्होंने सिलेबस बनाया उन्होंने लिखा रहेगा, यू नो, ये टूल है. वैसा जो टूल का नाम लिखा ही नहीं है, बाय द वे, राइट, बिकॉज द पीपल हु डिजाइन द सिलेबस दे आल्सो नो इट. टूल्स तो अलग अलग हो जाते हैं, बट यू नो, somebody will ask, definitely they are going to ask you, or like, you know, if there are MCQs like questions or a viva point of view, the people are going to say, you know, कीवर्ड जनरेशन algorithm है, मालूम है क्या, मालूम है, लेट्स से. वो तो उधर स्टैटिक है, वो तो मैं आपको वैसा का वैसा आपको नोट्स पे दे दूंगा, वो उसमें कोई टेंशन नहीं है. बट वंस यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द टूल्स एंड एवरीथिंग, सो राइट, तो टूल्स में आपको ऐसा है कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ टूल्स वी यूज इट, राइट. सो कीवर्ड जनरेशन के लिए आपने टूल कौन सा यूज किया, तो एसीएम रश इज वन ऑफ द एसीओ टूल्स, right. You can see this, there are other different tools are there, but let's find it out, the ACM Rush. So ACM Rush is a popular SEO tool that specializes in keyword research, competitor analysis, and Google Ad campaign optimization. Just imagine, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टूल है ACM Rush. ये इसका नाम आपको सिलेबस में नहीं दिखाई देगा, लेकिन आपको इधर लिखने का है, एग्जाम में भी लिखने का है, थ्योरी में भी लिखने का है, राइट. सो इवन दो द कीवर्ड जनरेशन आपको क्वेश्चन पूछा है एंड यू आर रिटर्न द कीवर्ड जनरेशन एल्गोरिथम, दैट्स फाइन. But I will add the question like that. What are the tools available and how the tools work? What is the working of that tool? So even though you do it practically or even though you do not do it practically, at least you should know the name of the tool and those the like features and everything. What we are doing it now. जो हम लोग अभी कर रहे हैं ना, वो फीचर्स देखो जरा, right. Now in this particular lecture we are going to do this only. राइट, टूल्स कौन से है, अलग अलग टूल्स कौन से है, राइट. सो आई एम डूइंग इट फ्रॉम लाइक दिस, और यूबर सजेस्ट, लेट्स ओपन इट एंड जस्ट गो थ्रू इट. ओके, सो आई थिंक द वीडियो इज आल्सो गिवन टू यू, लेट्स फाइंड इट आउट. ये आवाज आ रहा है क्या आपको, सुचित?
हाँ सर, आ रहा है, आ रहा है. हाँ.
वीडियो का आवाज आ रहा है ना?
नहीं आया वीडियो का. नहीं
देख देख अभी
नहीं आ रहा है.
नहीं आ रहा है.
नहीं.
इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा?
सर वैसे तो उधर से ही आना चाहिए.
आई थिंक व्हाट आई विल डू नो, आई विल यूज क्रोम. क्रोम यूज करता हूँ, लेट्स सी. क्रोम में अगर वो वीडियो चलता है ना तो अच्छा है, बिकॉज क्रोम में वो आवाज़ आएगा. फायरफॉक्स में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है. प्लीज गिव मी 1 or 2 minutes. I will just try it over there here and we'll come back. Okay. Sujit, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Huh? Now I will just share the screen and let's see. Present a tab. Can you able to see this now? Yes, Ruchi, can you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now just tell me whether you
In
can
this
able.
video, I'm going to show you my proven
हाँ sir.
5-step
आवाज आ रहा
keyword
है ना? हाँ.
research blueprint.
Yes.
This is the same blueprint I've
Please
used
go
to help
through
grow
the
my
video.
site to over 150,000 unique visitors per month. I'm
Just
Brian
go
Dean,
through
the
it.
founder of Backlinko, the place where marketers turn for high rankings and more traffic. And today you're going to learn exactly how to find the best keywords for your business. Keep watching. When I first got started with SEO, my approach to keyword research was a total mess. Back then, I'd fire up the latest and greatest keyword research tool and start typing in a bunch of random keywords. So what's wrong with this approach? My competitors were doing the exact same thing. No wonder most of the keywords I found were insanely competitive. Now, over the years, I developed a keyword research blueprint that works really well. Specifically, this blueprint will help you uncover keywords that your competition doesn't know about. So let's dive right in with step number 1 of this process, which is to identify your customer persona. This is a step that most people skip, and it hurts them. Ow, what was that? So what does identifying your customer persona actually mean? Let me explain with an example. My site sells SEO training products to small and medium-sized businesses. Most people in my position would open up a keyword research tool and type in things like SEO training and SEO courses into the tool. What's the problem with this approach? First off, like I mentioned before, your competition is doing the exact same thing, which means you're going to run into the exact same set of keywords as your competitors. But more important than that, this approach ignores a very important fact about your customer. And that fact is this: your customer spends 99.9% of their time online not searching for what you sell. In other words, if you only target your customer when they search for the exact thing you sell, you're missing out on hundreds of other opportunities to get in front of them. For example, in my case, I noticed that most of my customers were SEO agencies. So I went to forums and online communities where SEO agency owners tended to hang out. That way, I could see what my target customer searched for when he wasn't searching for SEO training. And I discovered that there are dozens of keywords that my target customer typed into Google that were related to my products, but had nothing to do with SEO training. Keywords like on-page SEO, list building, how to get more traffic, and SEO tools. And because I target these keywords, I get my business in front of thousands of my target customers every single day. And when my target customer is ready to buy, I'm the first person that comes to mind. That's the power of doing keyword research based on your customer persona. And all you need to do for this step is say, my customer is X. For example, if you run an online flower shop, you might say, my customer is a bride getting ready for her upcoming wedding. That was easy, right? Now that you've identified your customer persona, it's time to find topics that your customer is interested in, which leads us to the next step in my keyword research blueprint, which is to find topics that your customers care about. So how do you find these topics? It's simple. Go to where your target customer hangs out online. Then look for topics that they tend to discuss. Seriously, that's it. For example, in my case, my customers tend to hang out at marketing-focused communities like inbound.org and growthhackers.com. In your case, your target customer may hang out in places like Pinterest, Reddit, YouTube, industry blogs, and niche forums. Once you've identified where your target customer hangs out, it's time to keep an eye out for topics that are important to them. For example, in my case, I noticed that link building was one of the most popular topics in the online communities that my audience spent time on. So I wrote down link building as a topic. And I kept digging until I found at least 5 topics that my target customers talked about in online communities. Now that you have at least 5 topics, it's time to drill down into finding keywords. Here are my 4 favorite tactics for finding untapped keywords that your competition doesn't know about. First, we have Google Suggest. To use this strategy, just head over to Google and type your topic into the search field. But don't press enter. Instead, take a look at the keywords that Google suggests for you. These are usually awesome long tail keywords that you can go after. As a quick pro tip, try putting a few spaces before your keyword. This will show you a completely different set of keyword ideas. Next up, we have Quora.com. Quora is a massive community of people that ask and answer questions on every topic under the sun. All you need to do is search for your topic in Quora and see which keywords tend to show up. Our next tactic for finding keywords is to use Reddit. Like Quora, Reddit is a massive community of people that discuss every topic under the sun, from pets to politics. To use Reddit for keyword research, simply head over to Reddit and search for your topic. When you find a thread on your topic, keep an eye out for words and phrases that tend to come up again and again. These make awesome keyword ideas. Next up, we have Google's Searches Related To feature. To use this feature, simply type your topic into Google. Then scroll to the bottom of the results. Google will then show you other searches that are related to the keyword you just put in. These are usually excellent long-tail keywords that you can target with your content. Finally, we have Wikipedia. What other site has in-depth articles for topics like mall walking, the lingerie football league, and yes, the 5-second rule? To use Wikipedia for keyword research, just head over to Wikipedia and type in your topic. Then take a look at the other entries that article links to. These are usually closely related topics and even potential keywords themselves. Also, make sure to check out the table of contents for that entry. Again, these are usually keywords that are closely tied to your topic. Now that you have a list of potential keywords, it's time to choose the best from your list. How? By analyzing each keyword's commercial intent. One of the first websites I ever built shot to the top of Google for my target keyword. And because that keyword got a ton of search volume, that single ranking helped that site generate over 60,000 unique visitors per month. All good, right? Wrong. Even though that keyword got a ton of searches, the people that searched for that keyword were flat broke, which made monetizing that traffic impossible. Sorry, dude, I'm broke. That's why today I pay very close attention to a keyword's commercial intent. Commercial intent simply means how likely someone searching for a given keyword is to buy from you. Here's how to find out if your keyword has a high commercial intent or not. First, head over to the Google Keyword Planner and type in one of your potential keywords. Then take a look at the suggested bid column. This shows you how much advertisers are spending in AdWords for a single click from this keyword. Obviously, the higher the suggested bid, the more valuable that keyword is. Another simple way to size up commercial intent is to see how many AdWords ads appear when you search for your keyword in Google. If you search for your keyword and see lots of AdWords ads, it means that people are chomping at the bit to bring those searchers to their site. Okay, now it's time for our last step, which is to look at each keyword's search volume. Back in the day, Google would show you exact search volume numbers in the Google Keyword Planner. Unfortunately, that ship has sailed. Today, unless you're running active AdWords campaigns, they show you an extremely unhelpful search volume range. So how can you see how many people search for your keyword? There are two freemium tools that get the job done. The first is SEMrush.com. To find a keyword search volume, simply type the keyword into SEMrush, and they'll show you how many searches that keyword gets every month. Simple. You can also use kwfinder.com. Again, just pop your keyword into the tool and you'll see the exact amount of searches that it gets every month. Now, before you decide on a keyword, I recommend one last bonus step. Now, this step is completely optional, but in my experience, it helps you find the absolute best keywords for your business. And that step is to look at your keyword's growth in Google Trends. For example, let's say that you found two keywords that have similar search volume and commercial intent, and you don't know which one to pick. But when you look at Google Trends, you notice that one keyword is growing in popularity and the other is dropping like a stone. Obviously, you'd want to go with the keyword that's growing. A couple years ago, this step saved my butt. I was debating whether to target one of two keywords, Google Keyword Tool or Google Keyword Planner. You see, Google had recently renamed the Google Keyword tool the Google Keyword Planner. But the Google Keyword tool still got 20 times more searches than Google Keyword Planner. So I almost pulled the trigger on Google Keyword tool. That is, until I looked at Google Trends. That's when I noticed that searches for the Google Keyword Planner were skyrocketing, while searches for the Google Keyword tool were steadily dropping. So I decided to go with the Google Keyword Planner, and it was a good move. I now rank in the top 5 for that keyword, and it's a keyword that's growing in popularity every day. Okay, so that's all there is to my 5-step keyword research blueprint. If you follow the blueprint, you should have a handful of excellent keywords that you can use. And once you have those, it's a matter of creating landing pages and content optimized around those terms. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. It's easy. Just click on the subscribe button right here. Also, if you want exclusive SEO techniques that I only share with subscribers, head over to backlinko.com and sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Now I want to turn it over to you. Which step from this video was new to you? Or maybe you tried them all already. If so, you probably have a favorite technique that works well for you. Either way, let me know by leaving a quick comment right now. Okay, let's do it. I should just do that. Oh man, I can't, this is a tough one. Good? All right. Gotta move around more. In depth. Okay, Dunsky.
Okay, so I think you have listened that okay particular things, but let me show you one more video. Where you can also search for it, and you can also go through it. So I want to show you like not Tom and Jerry. Don't worry about it. Keyword search. No, so I want to write SEO. Search for SEO tutorial for beginners. Then you will come to know that it's very very important, right? So क्या है करके. So this thing only we have seen it, and I think one of my friend is also doing this. Now you work enterprises. One second. Huh? So I'm going to show you that thing only. Now you work. Anybody knows about Now you work? Yes. Suchit. Hello Suchit. No. Now you work enterprises. These are the people who are sponsoring, or you can say who are giving the first step to go ahead for open your own startup. Like Ballard has taken a help of that Navayog enterprises, and in the pandemic period, I did the digital marketing course of that particular their company only, which was paid one. जो एसीओ और मैंने भी वो सब एक्चुअली मैंने प्रैक्टिकली उनसे सब पूरा सीखा है, राइट? बट स्टेप बाय स्टेप वी विल डू इट. एक ही टाइम पे वी विल नॉट कंप्लीट एवरीथिंग, so one by one we will go. So that is Now York Enterprises. So I did that course, but and they have put some of the very interesting videos, which are very very important. I am not finding these videos over here. But let's listen to one of the video. Actually वो video मिलते हैं ना, so these are very good videos for SEO. Now you work entertainment है, actually it's enterprises. Now you enterprises कौन सा अलग ही आया. SEO there is one person, वो person का नाम मुझे नहीं याद आ रहा है, but actually he has taught us, right, the SEO and everything, right? So actually that was a very good. I will definitely find out that video, and why I'm trying to show you that video only because let's go through it and let's see that what are the things that they have explained us.
proper search engine optimization for SEO can make or break your website. It can put your website
We're going to talk about why you would want to rank using SEO. And SEO is search engine optimization, also known as organic search. You also may hear us say organic listings. But we're going to talk a little bit about why you would want to rank your website in organic search. Okay, what is search engine optimization? Then we're going to follow that up with how does Google rank websites? So why does it rank one website over another? And how do we get our website to rank number one? Then we're going to talk about the different types of SEO or search engine optimization techniques so you can get your website ranked number one. And then we're going to finish that off with the do's and don'ts of SEO. So let's get right to it and talk about why SEO. So we're going to use a basic example, and let's just say you have a blog. You're a food blogger, you're passionate about food, and your niche is ice cream. And let's just say you have a lot of ice cream recipes. You want to get traffic to your blog. You want people to read your blog. And you're curious, why am I not ranking for my blog? Why, when people type in ice cream recipes and say Google, my blog posts don't appear at the top of organic rankings? And there's a number of reasons why you wouldn't be ranked for your blog post or your ice cream recipes. And the main reason would be your competitors. So there could be somebody else out there who is also passionate about ice cream and has been blogging longer than you. And they have more content and more blog posts and more pages for Google to rank. So that's usually the number one reason. The other reason is improper usage of keywords. And we're going to talk a little bit, or it's actually a lot more about, keyword usage in your content. So what kind of keywords do you want to rank for? That's really what we're talking about when we talk about usage of keywords. What keywords do you want to rank for, and how do we work those keywords into the content? Another reason is poor link building practices. And really that means, are other blog posts or other websites linking to you? Also, are you linking to other pages on your website? And so it's all about link building. And with link building, it's internal linking. So are we linking from one blog post to another? And it's external linking. Are other websites of high quality linking to us? And so that's what we talk about when we talk about link building. And then another reason is web page load time. So you could be running your blog post on, say, WordPress, for example, and your blog post isn't loading fast enough. Well, if you look at it this way, think about it. If you're Google, would you really want to rank a website or blog post in this example number one on Google rankings if that particular page loaded very slow? No, you wouldn't, because when somebody clicked on that link in organic search and went to your website, they're going to have a bad experience because the page is going to load slow. So Google doesn't want their users to have a bad experience. You don't want your users to have a bad experience. And so that's why web page load time is a critical factor for ranking. So we need to make sure that our web pages load fast. And then your user experience is not good enough. So Google, again, based on my example about the web page load time, Google wants people to have a good experience when they go from their search engine to your website. And there's a lot at play there, specifically web page load time, but also, Google doesn't want any spam content. Google doesn't want any pop-ups or overbearing ads on the web page. They want people who are searching for something in particular, let's just say ice cream recipes, and they want to find a relevant website that has ice cream recipes. They want to be able to click on that link and read some good content about ice cream recipes. It's that simple. And that's really what Google's trying to create in their environment. And that's you as an end user, as a website owner, you want your users to have a good experience. And then last but not least, your website is de-indexed by mistake. And really what we mean is de-indexed is Google needs to be able to index all the pages on your website. So if you have a blog with 100 recipes, you want Google to have access to all 100 recipes. So we're going to talk a little bit later about how to get your pages ranked or indexed on Google organic search. So let's move on to what is SEO. So sticking with our ice cream blog theme, really SEO, search engine optimization, really is the practice of increasing your pages that Google has indexed up the rankings. So the end result is we want all our pages to be ranked #1 for particular keywords. So if you want to be ranked for ice cream recipes, well, there's certain things you need to do. So that's generally how it works. We need to apply search engine optimization to increase a page for a keyword we want to be found for. So let me give you an example. So let's just say there's 100 students that participated in an essay competition. And so the competition in this particular case is evaluated on the basis of, is the content relevant? Are they using suitable titles for their essay? Do they have structure when they're participating in this essay or talking about the essay? And do they have a suitable synopsis? And is the content neat and readable? These seem all logical for an essay competition. Well, guess what? They seem logical for SEO because that's exactly how SEO works. It's exactly all those points I just mentioned about structure, logic, readability, organization, title. All those things are what's important in SEO. And so we need relevant content. We need titles for our pages. Google needs to be able to see structure. We need to have synopsis of what the page is about, and that's called the meta description. And then again, the content needs to be readable, and that's important. And so in order to be readable, again, we're going to talk more about site speed because site speed is important. Okay, and when we talk about responsive design, when I say responsive design, that means your site, your page needs to load both on desktop and also on mobile. And so all these things are important. Just like an essay competition, Google is the judge, and they need to be able to determine what page is best to rank #1, #2, #3, etc. on Google search. And then link building. Remember I mentioned link building a moment ago? Well, link building internally and externally also plays a vital role. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the class when we talk about off-page SEO. How does Google rank website? And basically, Google follows 3 basic steps to rank a website. They need to crawl your website. They need to take what they crawl back to their servers. And when they take it back to their servers, your web pages, they need to have them available for indexing. So when somebody actually types in a keyword into google.com, it'll be available to be found on organic search. So that's what indexing is all about. And then Google's job when somebody does type in a search query is to basically rank those pages that they've indexed from #1 to infinity, depending on how many pages are relevant to that search query. So really it's about crawling, indexing, and ranking. So crawling is simply a process done by which Google has bots. And what these bots do is they go to your web server and they're going to crawl every page that they can find. And how do they find these pages? Well, they basically follow links. You might have heard the term spidering, but that's what they call search engine spidering. So basically what Google's doing is they're building a web, so to speak, all the links that they're following. And so when they can follow all these links on your website, they're going to be able to crawl them. And when they crawl them, basically they're going to take that content and store it on their servers so it's available in their index. So based on this method, Google finds out which websites have relevant content and which ones don't based on certain keywords that are typed into Google. Because if they can't crawl your website, you're not going to be found. And if you can't be found, then you're not going to show up for relevant keywords. So we need to make sure your site's available to be crawled. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, but let's show you an example. So let's just go to Google search. And if I type in the keyword simply learn, okay, I could see I have 1,010,000 results. Okay, and that's how many results are showing up for simply learn. Okay, now they may not all be simply learn pages, but nonetheless, simply learned is ranked #1 here organically, and there are 1,010,000 pages related to the keyword simply learn. Now, when it comes to organic search, We don't want to get it confused with paid search. So anytime you see paid search, you're going to see something that says ad next to it. Okay, so we could see that there are paid ads here, but when it comes to organic search, those are generally below paid ads. And so that's where Google counts the 1,010,000 results. And so that's the whole idea behind crawling and indexing. Google's able to crawl Simply Learn's website, and based on all the pages that they gather, they're going to make those pages available in organic search. So if you type in a keyword and your web page is not available for indexing, then you're never going to show up for that keyword. So that's why it's important to make sure your website is available for crawling and indexing. And so when a user types a query on Google search, the most relevant websites that are in Google's index are going to appear in the search results. So in the example I gave with Simply Learn, well, Simply Learn is the brand name of the company Simply Learn. So there's a lot of relevancy there. So that's why you see Simply Learn show up here organically, number one. Like we mentioned about what is SEO and why SEO, we talked about that user experience. So there's a lot of factors that go into ranking, relevancy being one of them. So in the Simply Learn example, Simply Learn is relevant to a lot of the Simply Learn pages because that's who they are, Simply Learn. However, Simply Learn also needs to make sure that, for their pages, the page load time is fast, meaning these pages load very fast for the end user. And Google also takes into account other factors, like how long someone is staying on a website. Or are they bouncing, meaning are they going to one page that they land on and then leaving the website? Okay, and so the user experience is very, very important. There are other factors also like language and location. And so, for example, location, if you do a search, say in India, the results are going to be a little bit different than, say, the results in the United States. Why? Because Google is indexing as many web pages as they can find. So if somebody's doing a search in India, their results may be a little bit different than the results show up in the US because Google has different bots. And these bots are crawling different pages at different times. And so Google's index is updating continuously, but it's not real-time syncing. So if you do a search in India, you may not see exactly the same thing because both search engines, the Google in India and the Google in the US, may not be exactly synced up. So an example would be, if you're looking for cafe. So if you search a cafe in, say, San Francisco, you're going to see different results. Now, if you do a search for cafes in Mumbai, you're going to see different results. There's going to be local search here at the top. There may be some paid search, but again, you may see different results because one, location, but two, Google's search engines in India and United States, Google.com, aren't exactly synced up exactly at the same exact time you do that search. So location is important, language is important, and relevancy is important, along with user experience. So all those are important factors in how Google ranks websites. Okay, so we're going to talk about the types of SEO now. So if we want to rank for a particular keyword on Google, we're going to have to apply search engine optimization. And so there's two strategies to search engine optimization: on-page SEO and off-page SEO. So first, we're going to talk about on-page SEO. So on-page SEO is nothing more than optimizing your own website. And so when we say optimizing your own website, there's certain elements on your website and on your web pages that we need to take into account. And so some of those elements are headers, meta descriptions, title tags, linking. So all of those elements are something we can control as an end user who wants to rank our web page and our website on Google. And before we do anything with our website, the first thing we need to do is understand what keywords we want to rank for. in order to understand what keywords we want to rank for, we need to do keyword research. And if you do anything in SEO, keyword research is the most important activity. That's the most important thing you can do for SEO. And why do I say it's the most important? Because you need to understand, if you choose a keyword that you want to rank for, you need to understand how much traffic you're going to get from that keyword. If you're ranked organically, say #1 on Google, so how much traffic will you get if you're ranked #1 on Google? So you need to understand what the volume is. And then #2, we need to understand what the competition is for that keyword that you want to rank for. So if you choose a keyword and there's not much competition for it, then chances are you can rank for that keyword for a web page on your website quicker than, say, a keyword that has a lot of competition. So we need to understand those two basic factors, volume and competition, before we choose a keyword. And it's simply the practice of going through the motions of getting your volume and getting your competition data so you can choose the keywords you want. And then once you choose the keywords you want, then you can go and apply on-page SEO. You can change the title tag, the meta descriptions, the headers. All those elements can be changed, but first you need to choose your keywords. And so again, the primary components we're looking for are how much traffic you can get, or the search volume, how much competition there is for that keyword, and of course, relevancy. Okay, you need to be able to choose a keyword that's relevant to the web page you're trying to rank for. And so let me show you an example of how to go through this. So the first thing we want to do is we want to use a tool. And the tool I would recommend is Google Keyword Planner. And why do I choose Google Keyword Planner? Because if we're trying to rank on Google.com or Google search engine, we want to be able to get the data right from the source. So Google's going to be able to give us information about how much volume a keyword has and how much competition it has. So let me show you an example. So if I want to use Google's Keyword Planner and I want to rank for the keyword how to become a digital marketing specialist, then I'm going to type that keyword into Google's Keyword Planner. And what Google's going to do is they're going to give me some trends about how much volume this particular keyword gets over the course of a year. And so for that particular keyword, I can see that there are trends that appear for both desktop and mobile. So mobile is important because people start their search process a lot of times on their mobile device. So we want to be able to get data from mobile as well as desktop. And so we could see a trend here that for each particular month, over the last 12 months, we can see how much volume this particular keyword, how to become a digital marketing specialist, gets per month. And so on average, over the past 12 months, I could see how to become a digital marketing specialist averages 30 searches a month. And this is on Google.
Okay, so I think, dear students, you may get the ideas about this particular, search engine and everything. So I think it's next time what I will do, I will again show it to you the different kinds of algorithms what we are going to do it. Okay, and something like in the next lecture what I'm going to take is something like quiz for all of us. That quiz is again important, whatever we are studying, whatever we are learning regarding this SEO aspect, or the internet programming, advanced internet programming. So whatever we have taken the things, based on that, whether it has reached to you, that type of part we are going to check it through the quiz, or there is something called as puzzle or crossword. So this part of things that we will go to take it tomorrow, right? So I think anybody has got any kind of question, please ask. Ruchi, if you have got any kind of question, please ask. Otherwise, type it in the chat box. Okay, very good. Adnan has shared us good URL. Okay, that we will take it afterwards.